What's up, guys? We got chicken heads, ABCs, and a low-speed chase on elephants on The Amazing Race coming up.
You're tuned in to Afterbuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, I'm your host, Tiffany Toney. I know some of you guys were asking about where all the other panelists are, and guess what? I'm it. So you're just gonna have to join me and continue on with the chat and support the movement. All right, so this is episode 2 of season 31 called Knock the Newbie Out of Us, and it takes place in Laos, which is a very, very beautiful part of Southeast Asia. I just kind of want to start by recapping these challenges and kind of getting your opinions on what you thought about each of the challenges. With the first one, we had giving back to the monks, which I thought was really interesting and a really peaceful way to start out the show. But I didn't really understand exactly what the challenge was. So if anybody in the chats can kind of break that down, please. I'm all yours. Now, the barbecue thing, it kind of grossed me out, but I was really surprised to see the teams that I thought were actually going to excel in this part of the challenge did not. So that was really interesting, and I'd love to hear your feedback on that as well. We had our ABCs in the native Lao language, and my favorite was the elephant racing across the river. The slowest low-speed chase I've ever seen in my life, but it was really interesting, and I enjoyed it. So I want to talk about the teams, and we're going to start with the Afghanimals, Leo and Jamal. I've seen in some of the comments that a few people are annoyed by them. I'm not really sure why, because I personally like them a lot. I'd love to know what you guys thought about them being sabotaged by Karine and Alyssa on the first challenge. Let's see. I was surprised that they got second place. They started in second place and they advanced to first place despite what they'd been through, despite the U-turn, and despite being sabotaged. They still ended up in first place. So I'd love to hear what you guys thought about them and what you think their future looks like on The Amazing Race. I personally think they just might take the whole thing. Talking about Colin and Christy, I think that they are doing much better this time than they did the last time they were on the show. I don't know if you guys remember, the last time they were on the show, Colin was an emotional basket case. He was angry, he was irate, he was throwing money at people. He was so out of control. And this time he's actually doing a lot better job of keeping his composure, keeping himself together. And I think that they do have a good shot to stay in this race for a long time. I don't know that they'll win, but I think they're going to stick around for a while. I thought it was great that they connected with Rachel and Elisa. So I'd love to know what you guys thought about that as well. We have Tyler and Corey. They cracked me up doing the ABCs. They were so committed, and they did a really good job. I thought they did a really great job. And, you know, for them to come all the way back from that initial U-turn was remarkable, and I really enjoyed watching them fight for the win. Now, we've got Rachel and Alyssa, the sisters. I was curious to see if they were going to use the U-turn or were they not going to use the U-turn, and they did use it with Becca and Floyd, which I thought was a really strange choice, seeing as how Becca and Floyd aren't necessarily a huge threat yet in this game, but hey, that was their karma, so I totally get it. They used the U-turn and then still got passed up with the elephants. They made up for time with the elephants, which I was shocked by as well. However, somehow they are holding on by the skin of their teeth. They have shocked me in every competition so far. I didn't think they were going to do well. I thought they were a little too pretty and a little too cute. But hey, they are surprising the heck out of me. So let's see, who else do we have? Becca and Floyd, who U-turned Tyler and Corey, which I thought was very smart. Tyler and Corey are very, very, very strong competitors, and they seem to keep their cool no matter what's happening and no matter how much pressure they are under. They always seem to kind of stay composed. They're not arguing, they're not bickering, and they seem to be very just very strategic as far as the way that they're playing the game. I don't know if it's intentional or if they're just getting lucky, but either way, I'm really, really, really enjoying watching them and the way they play the game. So it'll be interesting to see how far they go. I personally think they have the potential to go head-to-head with the Afghanimals and to really take this game to the next level. Now we've got Nicole and Victor. They could not keep up on the boat, but hey, I really enjoyed watching them as well. They didn't really make a lot of noise this episode, but they hung on by the skin of their teeth. We've got Janelle and Brittany. All right, guys, so I'm not going to judge them too hard for how out of breath they were running up these hills. I know they are both mothers. And in the past, they've both been very athletic. If you guys watched on Big Brother, Janelle was extremely athletic. She was one of my favorite competitors on that show. But she was struggling a little bit this episode. She is almost 40 years old, so I can't, I have to give her that. And she is a mom. So I'm wondering what you guys think about her performance, how her and Brittany are as a team, and how they're going to be able to hang on. Let's face it, Big Brother is not a very physical game past the head of household competitions. Most of the time, they're just lounging around, eating snacks, chilling, making out. So the reality is, Big Brother is not as physical a game as Survivor and The Amazing Race. So I do think it might be somewhat challenging for them as this goes along if they have not prepared in terms of conditioning and working out up until this point. So we'll see how it goes. We had Chris and Brett, who didn't make much noise this episode. I honestly almost forgot they were even playing the game, and I really feel like they kind of slipped through the cracks on this. I don't see them going much further in this game, but I do know a lot of my family and friends that really like and enjoy watching them for some strange reason. I think they're kind of bland, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. I'm actually going to read some of the live chat comments later so that we can get your feedback and so we can shout you guys out and acknowledge you. We had Corinne and Alyssa. I think they did surprisingly well, you guys. I was shocked at how well they did in the ABCs. They ended up pushing into first place somehow at one point in the game, and I think their Survivor strategy is actually going to take them pretty far in the game. They are willing to cut people off and kind of play dirty, and I think it makes the game much more entertaining. And although I don't think that everyone has to play the game that way, I think it's working for them so far. Now, they might make a lot of enemies along the way, which could hurt them at the end of the game. But I think that they're playing the game the best way they know how. They're being aggressive, and it's very entertaining, and they're fighting for it. They're scrapping for it. So I'm enjoying watching that. Let's see, who do we have? Poor Rupert. Not Rupert. Rupert got eliminated tonight, you guys. Or last night, I'm sorry. But come on, you guys. Everybody saw this coming, I think. He's lucky that he made it through the first episode. Now he's here at the second episode, chilling, petting his elephant. I understand that an elephant is a very gentle animal and that this was probably a very amazing and peaceful experience for everyone. But I think somewhere along the line, Rupert forgot that it was a race. I mean, he was, at one point, he wasn't even using the commands that were taught to him or issued to him. He was just having a conversation with the elephant, which I thought was really sweet and it was cute. But I just don't know if Rupert was cut out for this competition, you guys. I would love to hear what you guys think. I personally think that Rupert would be better for a show like Big Brother, where he could just kind of hang out and kind of coast and slip through the cracks. I was shocked that he even made it this far. But I like him. I think he seems like a great guy. He's like that uncle you just want to go and like hug and hang out with on Easter, but definitely not cut out for this game. His wife was so supportive and loving, despite the fact that he completely blew the last competition in this episode and in the first episode. But that's neither here nor there. What's done is done. We had the Afghanimals come in first place. We had Nicole and Victor were in second place. Third place, we had Rachel and Alyssa. Fourth goes to Colin and Christy. In fifth place, we had Janelle and Brittany. Sixth, Corinne and Alyssa. And who was our seventh place? Tyler and Corey. I personally really like Tyler and Corey. Eighth place, we had Chris and Brett, for those of you that are just tuning in. And in ninth place, unfortunately, Rupert and Laura were eliminated. So that is that. I just want to take a moment to address some of you in our live chat. Hi, Eric. How do I pronounce your last name? Is it Olin? Eric Olin, thanks for shouting me out. I appreciate you. Eric Olin says, Tiff, I am pulling for Victor in the call now since Rupert is gone. All right. That's not a bad choice. Royal16 says, I like Janelle and Brittany, and I hope they do well. I would love to know what you like most about Janelle and Brittany and what your thoughts were in terms of their performance tonight, because they barely made it through tonight. They were really exhausted after these competitions, and I'd like to know what you think their strengths are and how you think they're going to do later on in this race. Trust me, I'm not arguing with you. I actually really like them too. I'm just curious to know your opinions on how far you think they're going to go and what you think their strengths and weaknesses are, and what sort of strategy you think they can use to make sure that they solidify a spot at the end of this game. Let's see. Who do we have? We have Chelsea M90, and she says, who the heck is Colin and Christy? Because I'm pretty sure they annoyed the crap out of me on their season, and they're so calm. I couldn't agree with you more. Okay, so Colin and Christy are like night and day. I don't know if you saw the footage from the first episode when Christy was talking about how she had talked Colin into doing some positive affirmation and some meditative yoga and some Zen. And, you know, honestly, I am so glad she did that, because I am right there with you, girl. I could not have dealt with another episode with him acting a fool, throwing money, being disrespectful to the servants and the taxi drivers and the people that were trying to help him, and flipping out on Christy the way that he was the first time he was on this show. So I definitely agree with you on that. It's completely shocking. It's night and day, and he is definitely a different player this season. I'm curious to know how you think that's going to work for them in the game. Do you think it's going to matter? Do you think it's not? Do you think they have what it takes to make it deep into this game and to be serious competitors? Eric says that he's sad that Rupert's out. I know, Eric. I'm sad too, but let's be honest. Did you really think that Rupert was going to make it past the second episode? I get it. He's a nice guy. Everybody wants to hug him. He reminds us of that family member that is just a little off, but his intentions are always good. I know. But let's be real. Did we really think he was going to make it past this episode? Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're seeing something I don't see. But I'm not hating on you, Eric. Again, I'm not hating on you. I just want to know. I just want to understand where you're coming from with this. Let's see. Who else do we have in the chat? Joseph Bonza. He says that you're not sure if we have a full panel yet. Yes, you are right. It is just me. I'm Tiffany Toney, and I'm here tonight chatting with you guys. I am the panel for now, so I hope that you guys can hang with me and interact with me and let me know what your thoughts are. And I would love to hear feedback. I also have a question for you guys, and this is just some food for thought. I would like to know if you had a chance to be on The Amazing Race as one of the cast members, who would you bring on the show with you and why? Now, it can be somebody that's in your family, it could be a friend, it could be a classmate, or it could be somebody who you enjoyed watching on this show, or you enjoyed watching on Survivor, or someone that you enjoyed watching on Big Brother. I would love to hear that in the comments. You can leave it, if you're watching right now and you want to leave it live, I would love to hear what you think, and I would love to hear who you would like to have as a teammate on the show so that we can talk about that. And I'd like to hear what your strengths and weaknesses are and why you would choose that partner. For me personally, I would choose my brother. He's a freaking college basketball player, dude. He's a super athlete. And if I were going on the show, I would choose my brother because he's a super athlete and he's super smart. And for all of the puzzles that I couldn't figure out, I'm sure that he'd be able to. So that's my 2 cents on that. Before we move on, I have a special treat for you guys. And do you know what my special treat for you is? It's full of love. No, you guys, on a serious note, I just want to say thank you so much for making us the ESPN of TV talk. For us to continue to grow, we need your support, and we need just a little bit of help from you. And don't worry, I'm not going to pass you a collection plate or anything like that. All I'm going to do is ask that if you're on YouTube right now, that you hit the thumbs up button and that you subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 stars, you guys. It's as simple as clicking that little 5-star button. No matter where you are in the country, in the world, please leave us a comment because we really do enjoy your feedback and we want you to get involved in the conversation, okay? Being a part of Afterbuzz TV means a lot to us. It means a lot to me, and you guys taking the time out of your day away from your family and friends to sit and watch this and to listen and to leave your comments. I really appreciate that, and it means the world to me. So I want to hear your comments. I want you to interact, and please, please, please don't forget to tell your friends. You could have them sitting there with you right now watching this so that you don't have to miss out on time with them. So that was my gift to you. You've given me the gift of your company and your comments. So the least I could do is give you the gift of my thanks. So I want to make a couple of predictions, you guys. I am predicting that Chris and Brett are not going to make it much further in this game. I could be wrong, but that's just what my gut feeling is telling me right now. I think that they are actually going to maybe make it 1 or 2 more episodes, and then they're going to be out. And the reason that I think that is because I just feel that so far they have barely just skated by the skin of their teeth, and I don't know, they're just kind of bland to me, you guys. Maybe I'm being biased. I want some more action from them. I need some more gusto, and they're not giving it to me. I'd love to hear what you think and who you think is going to be eliminated, not only in the next episode, but in episodes to come. I think that the Afghanimals are going to win this competition, you guys. I think they're going to win the whole race. I think it's going to be between them and Tyler and Corey. I think Tyler and Corey are the most grounded and centered and calm, and I think that they're both really intelligent guys who are not willing to go out on a limb. I mean, the way that they were pronouncing those ABCs today, they were all in. I mean, they were they were literally getting the accent down to, I mean, it was perfect. They did better than any other team, and I just really like their commitment. I think the Afghanimals are extremely cultured. Both men have experience living and traveling all over the world. They were raised by parents who are extremely cultured and who have a lot of life experience and have unique career experience, and I just really think that's going to give them the edge. They're great with languages, as you saw tonight, and regardless of whether you love them or hate them, you guys, you can't deny that they are really, 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 really great competitors. So those are my predictions. Let's see. I just want to give you guys a little more attention in the chat because I am so excited that you guys actually took the time to show up and to comment. And I think it's really great. Some of you guys were waiting in the chat before we started, and I really appreciate that support because I can't talk by myself. All right. So, Eric, you're really active tonight. I like you. I like Eric Olin. He says, Tiff, I would probably race with my dad. Awesome. That's really awesome that you have that relationship with your dad. And we've got Royal 16. Royal 16 says, I would bring my sister because she's very smart and competitive like me. Sounds like you guys were some double trouble growing up. Sounds like your dad had a handful with 2 girls. I can't even imagine. But hey, sister power, I'm with it. Eric Olin says, Royal, I hope Victor and Nicole win. Huh. Interesting. And Royal agrees. So do you guys really think that Victor and Nicole can pull it off? I'm not hating on Victor and Nicole. I like them. I think they are honest, they're respectful, and they are super competitive. So if they won, I would not be upset. We've got Delaney XXL. Ugh, I love Tyler and Corey. I think I like them too. If I had to pick any of the castmates to hang out with on the weekend, on a Thursday night, for example, I would definitely be kicking it with them. They've got great energy. And to answer the question that I asked you, I know I said I would bring my brother if I were a competitor on this show, and I would. But if I had to choose someone that was already in the cast, I would have to say that I would either choose either Tyler or Corey, or Janelle. I have to say, I think Janelle and I would totally hit it off and work well together. Janelle, if you're watching and you ever want to do like a Tough Mudder or something, hit me up, girl. I'm down to do it, and I will train you too, because I know you're a mom, and I know you haven't been working out, staying in that Big Brother house, eating them sandwiches, but I got you, boo. If you ever want to do it, you know where to find me. All right, so what I want to do is go over a little bit of history. So we've got some news and media for you guys. And what we are going to talk about tonight is our Couples Throwback Thursday.
Afterbuzz TV News.
All right. So those of you that are super fans of this show, I'm sure that you have been watching for years. And I'm sure that you know that a lot of the people on the show end up hooking up, or they come on as couples already, whether it be Big Brother or The Amazing Race or Survivor. There's always a few couples in the mix. I can see this being a very deep bonding experience, or it could be something that's potentially devastating to tear you apart. So we're going to do a little throwback, and we're going to talk about some of the couples from previous episodes and previous seasons, and we're kind of going to give you a little update on them. And if you guys want to go and, Google it and do some research and do a little digging, you're more than welcome to do that and to leave your comments and feedback. So we are going to start with Ernie and Cindy. Okay, they are from The Amazing Race, season 19. And as you guys remember, when they were on the show, they were engaged. Well, they did end up getting married. And in this picture, they look so happy. I haven't seen the wedding pictures, but I guess I'll have to do some research and see if I can find those, because I know you guys are just dying to see. All right, so from season 28, we have Bernie and Ashley. I don't know if you guys remember them, but when they were on the show, they were actually just dating. And it turns out that now they are still just dating. They're still together, you guys. They're working it out. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe there is a proposal in the future. I'm not trying to put any pressure on Bernie. I'm just speculating. All right. So if you guys remember them, that's definitely, they made it through. They made it through the show. They made it through. They're still holding on strong, and they are still dating, just in case you were wondering. And our next couple that we have Trey and Alexis Lexi Bierman from The Amazing Race, season 21. They were actually dating when they were on the show, and now there are wedding bells ringing, and they are married. So yeah, you guys can go and check that out. If you're following them on social media or anything, feel free to send them a little congratulations. And then last but not least, we have Dana and Matt Stefania from The Amazing Race 28. And they were actually engaged on the show. And I have some really detrimental news for you guys. They were broken up. It didn't work out. It did not work out. It was not a Sunday kind of love. It was only a Saturday night kind of love, and Saturday night is over. So unfortunately, they didn't work out. I know that both of them at one point were living in LA. Don't know if that had anything to do with it, but those of you that live in LA or have been to LA know that dating here is very, very, very difficult. So that probably had something to do with it, but I can't assume. I cannot assume, but I'm assuming. All right, guys, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I would love to hear what you guys think as far as your predictions and who you think is going to win this show and who you think is going to get eliminated in the next show. Again, you guys, like I said, I think that Chris and Brett aren't going to make it very much further. The sisters, I don't know how much further they're going to make it either. I would be surprised if they made it a couple more episodes. But then again, they have surprised me so far. So I can't cut them short. I can't count them out just yet. I am pulling for the Afghanimals to win. If them or Tyler and Corey won, I would be totally cool with that. I also like Victor and Nicole. And I want to hear who you guys like, what you think about the show, what sort of challenges you would like to see, and who you think is going to win season 31 of The Amazing Race. Thank you guys so much for your time. If you would like to get in contact with me, you can reach me on Instagram and Twitter. My handle is at Tiffany, that's TIFFANY_Toney, TONEY_. So it's at Tiffany_Toney_. Tiffany like the jewelry store, Tony like the boxer. Don't forget, make sure you keep in touch, follow, like, and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Afterbuzz TV. I hope you have a great evening, and I will see you next week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to Afterbuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterbuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.